Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ollie Rodriguez Dom, and today I have a very exciting video, and it's a bit of a different one compared to my usual unboxing videos, which usually relate to vinyls or pretty much records, vinyls. Yeah, that's pretty much all my unboxings really are at this point. But as you can see from this box right here, it's not exactly the right shape for a vinyl record, and that's because today, as you can read by the title, we have got the Relapse Files. For the past year or so, I've been following a guy on Instagram. Not in that sort of way, although that's kind of fitting for an Eminem relapse sort of topic. Hello, Tonya. Not like that. But basically, I've been following a guy called Dunn on there, and he has been releasing, like, he's a graphic designer, and he does a lot of Eminem sort of, like, I don't even want to say, like, fan art sort of stuff, because it feels like it's more than just that. Like, I genuinely believe this guy should be hired by Eminem and his team to produce half the stuff that they make now, because it's really high quality stuff. Like, I'll put some images on screen of the stuff he's been producing. Like, he's done some recent, like, I think there was the Eminem Detroit poster he made quite recently. He's also done quite a few mock-ups of, like, vinyl designs, which I really love. And despite the fact I did quite like what they ended up doing for the Marshmallows LP 25th anniversary, he did a version of it which was like this, like, green and sort of orange fire effect to it that looked really clean and really sick, and just like added something extra to it. He also did another version of, like, the Marshmallows LP 2 10th anniversary, which was really cool. And he does so much, like, good Eminem content on there that it surprises me they haven't really picked him up for anything. And pretty recently, he's basically made a website go live, an online store where you can start buying some of these things. A lot of it is like prints and stuff, but recently he's gone ahead and made the Relapse Files. So I've kind of blabbered on enough. I just wanted to give him quite a shout out. I obviously haven't opened this yet, so this is just going to be my pure full first reaction to everything that's in here. Obviously I'm aware of some of the stuff because of the photos that are shown, but obviously he hasn't, like, taken a photo of every page in the files. So I am very excited to go through and have a look at what he has put inside the Relapse Files, and yeah, I think it's time we just have a look at this. Alright, and we are finally in. Yo, already the quality of this is insane. Like, I've not even looked at the file yet, but, like, so the first thing on top is you get this, like, Stan's Basement. Focus on the thing, camera. So, like, the first thing you end up getting out of this is this, like, little card called Stan's Basement, and just, like, promoting the website. Obviously, more than happy to promote this because there's some great stuff on there if you want to go check it out. But then if we flip it around, we then also have, like, a little message from Dunn himself, just saying thank you for purchasing. And also, like, the other part of this I love, like, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, this, like, logo up here of Relapse, like, I know it's not hard to, like, just go and find a logo. Like, I've done it for my own, like, video thumbnails and everything like that. There's just something very clean about the way that he's actually designed the logo itself that makes it feel like this is, like, an official product that, like, Eminem and his team has produced or something. But no, this is all down to Dunn, so genuinely have to give him a massive shout out. Thank you for that. I will keep that as part of the file itself. And then also, get this thing called a Stan's Pass, which is quite interesting. I'm sure I'll figure out more about that. So there's the first two things we're introduced to from this package, so I will keep them nearby. And then we do find ourselves with this, and already this is looking fantastic. Like, that's so cool to sort of look at. Like, oh my god, even the extra detail on the back with, like, a tea stain, like a mug's been on it. Like, that's such a cool little extra attention to detail. Like, already this is so cool to, like, just be looking at itself. As you can tell, he's really gone for the aesthetic of this as, like, a folder that is part of the Popsomp Hills, like, medical facility that is just, like, being kept on file about Eminem / Slim Shady in the whole thing. So, like, this is super creative already. I'm really loving the look of it. But let's actually open it up fully, as carefully as I can, and have a proper look at it. Alright, and then we take it out. Oh, already dropped this up. Oh my god, my pills! Yeah, you heard me right, pills. These came with it too. Some Relapse pills that go perfectly with it. These are really cool. I mean, let's see if we can have a little gander at them. Yeah, of course you can pull them out. I won't do them all, but I will just take, like, the iconic red and yellow one, as we can see. There it is. So there's, like, the iconic sort of, like, red and yellow pill, which is just, like, that's exactly what you think about when you think of, like, the Relapse cover. So that is really cool to see. He's done so well in just, like, making these. Obviously I will not be taking them in any capacity. Ooh, there's a little M. Oh my god, he's actually made, like, a little Eminem pill. There you have it, like, the backwards E. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a pill or not, but I'm gonna take it as that. But that's just like a really cool little extra detail to throw in there. So yeah, that's nice. Then just one last little look at the bag that it comes in, but you basically get this bit here which has that kind of like iconic Relapse prescription sticker on it. So yeah, this is like a really cool little bit of detail just to like throw in with this. So yeah, really impressed with just like this by itself. Like he could probably, honestly, I think people would probably pay a good like 10 to 15 quid just to like have this by itself. So really sick that this like came as part of the package. Holy shit. Like, you know when you open the vinyl and you get that like spread? This is almost like I've just ripped this out of it and I'm now looking at it, because like, get ready for this. Just like opening that up. Like, tell me this does not feel like you're looking through the vinyl, but just like properly now, or you've just ripped, or like just taken this off the page of the gatefold vinyl. That is so cool to see all of this. So there's probably going to be a lot of details. I won't have time to just like go into all of it in this. Like, there's so many, like, there just seems like there's so much in it, but I'm very excited to go through and look. And I'll do my best throughout this video to add some like overlaying clips just so you can sort of look through them and actually see it on screen when I'm talking about it. But the first one that is really cool to look at is basically this one on the left hand side, which is basically the official state prescription. And obviously it comes with the entire track list that you have there, and it's like this extra bit of just like how many milligrams it is, practitioner DEA number. I feel like that's probably going to be an Easter egg to something. B0013897372. If any Eminem hardcore fans out there can figure out that number, that'd be great, because I feel like there's probably just gonna be a load of Easter eggs like that in here. Obviously license 313, that's very obvious, we all know what 313 is. Then you get like patient name, Marshall Mathers, and all the details there. You also get the prescriber's signature with Dr. Dre, which is a really nice touch on there. You also have take 1 tablet 1 time daily at 3 AM, obviously tying into 3 AM the song. And then also above this prescription you get basically a card from Marshall which says, "Don't do drugs, save them for me," which is just like, I think that perfectly sort of shows you the place that the character in Relapse is coming from. So that's quite fun. I also do love this like extra detail here where he's like managed to like add clips into the pages themselves, so it looks like they're just like hanging on to it, but that's like a really clever way of doing it, and it hasn't like affected the front cover of this either. So super already. Just like, I've looked at just like one side of the back of the file cover and I'm already impressed by this. It's actually amazing. So I think the rest of this we can actually just like start taking out. All of this is stuff that you get to look through with this file, and it's actually like, it feels like there's a lot to go through. So let's get into it. I mean, starting off with this print that you get in here, I think we're pretty familiar with this one. I feel like this one is in the gatefold as well for the vinyl, so that one's quite cool to see. Oh, and I feel like this is fudging hell. This is some level of detail. So you then get this. So this right here is just another level of detail. In case you don't know what this is literally just like a leaflet slash pamphlet of the rehabilitation center at Popsomp Hill. Also, is that how you say it? Popsomp or Popsomp? I think that's how you say it. Popsomp Hills. So this is just like, I won't go through everything. I'm sure there's like some level of detail I miss out on this, but this is just like incredible attention to detail. I mean, I quite like this over here, which is obviously a reference to the We Made You song with We Remade You. That's such a good way of putting it. I love that. Right, I'm just going to read a section of this just so then you can kind of have a little idea of how Dunn has gone about this. But I'll just read the About Us, Our Philosophy section, which says, "We put a tense in intense and the E in recovery. With our 0.999% relapse rate, our process is simply the best. We combine our clinical psychologists, marriage and family counselors, licensed clinical social workers, mental health workers, and independent detox specialists to treat you as a whole person, and by treating you as a whole person, we will help you dispel all of your demons. Our plan removes you from the element and sets you on a new path for life. We help renew your faith in yourself by giving you the tools to live a substance-free life. There is no magic to breathing underwater, but a journey to recovery will provide you in a sense of success that puts you on cloud 9 and makes you feel like a fish." This is just like, I'm not saying it's unnecessary, but it's just that extra like world building thing to just like take you into more of the world of Relapse, which is so cool to just like throw in there as an extra thing in there. So incredibly like well thought out by Dunn, so love that as an extra piece. We then do find ourselves with the first sort of like document page, which is the patient administration form, and this is basically, you have a photo of Eminem / Marshall Mathers there, and then you just have him like filling out all of the details on this application. And on this, Dunn, no pun intended, but Dunn has done a great job at just like capturing the character of like Marshall Mathers / Slim Shady in this kind of like facility in Relapse anyway, and just basically like, so when he's filling out the details when it comes to like sex, he just puts like yes please, and then like on race he just puts ready set go, like just like small stupid shit like that, which basically just like adds to the sort of like persona of Eminem. And then also one of the things that I do also like in here is how on the multiple evaluation axes, on number 1 it basically puts like nuts, but then crosses it out and then puts insane, obviously linking into the song Insane, which honestly, a lot of people hate me for this, one of my favorite songs on the album. And then Eminem's reason for admission is this demon inside got a grip on me, man. It possesses my mind, soul, and my body. I can't shake it off by myself. Calls me his darling. Linking into the song My Darling. Honestly, My Darling as a song, I have to say, is probably, I'm not going to go as far to say it's like top 10, but I think in terms of a song concept, I think it's probably one of Eminem's best. I think it's like kind of the song that I think does like what Guilty Conscience 2 does, so much better in my opinion. So that's kind of my feeling on My Darling. Continuing on, you then get current medical issues, tiny dick, tiny balls syndrome. So there you go. And then also some of his responses to basically like the drugs that he's used, which is like Valium with an exclamation mark, yes, 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 and yes, and then as well. So there's the first part of the admission form. I feel like we're then missing, I think this is supposed to be attached to it too, but then you get the patient admission form, which is basically just like the signature of it, where the summary of the patient is white trash male battling the grip of addiction, high profile celebrity, smart ass, shows potential of recovery on a mission, but requires professional help from our rehabilitation program, duration to be decided by Dr. Balzac's assessment. Is that supposed to be how you say it, Balzac, to sound like ballsack? Or am I just completely butchering that? Let me know in the comments if I've just like completely butchered the name or if that is actually part of the joke. So there's the patient admission section of this file, so that's really cool. Again, I'm just really enjoying like these like little attentions to details. Might try and like speed through this a little bit just so then like we don't have another hour-long video. And also it gives you more of a reason if you want to go and get this for yourself. It gives you some stuff to still look through. But here we have Marshall's schedule. A couple of things you have in here is AA meeting, yoga session with Tonya, phone call with sponsor Elton John, D12 steps. That's quite nice actually, little Easter egg and nod to D12, make pottery for Steve Berman, and then plenty of jerking off. That is Marshall's schedule, so very cool. Then we have I assume a certificate here that goes, I'm just going to go with this now, but Dr. Balzac's 4-step program. So again, nice little bit of detail there for it. We then do have ourselves this, which is the progress report. And this is actually really important in terms of like the sort of story that's being laid out here. So on this bit here, you have the first stage report, which basically like it comes across quite normal, just like talking about how Marshall is doing and how he's got potential for recovery, but then also adding in some like detail of eeriness about what's going on in the actual facility, by saying make sure to put the special substance into his porridge to basically drug him and keep him drugged and insane. Which then takes you on to the second report, which says he's ours now, and then the third report, there isn't anything because there was an incident. So really nice little way of like telling the story of Relapse and what may have been going on at Popsomp Hill. Alright, so here we have some like confiscated mail, and this is almost something that they've done. If you read what it says here, what it's actually suggesting is they basically gave Marshall the impression that he was going to have his mail sent to the outside world, but then they've actually like taken it and kept it for themselves to basically keep control of him and not have any communication with the outside world. I love this as well on here, just like the extra like custom Relapse stamps. It's just like a really nice touch on it. And then even on the back of the envelope you get like the Popsomp Hills little stamp there as well, which adds just even more to it. But this is obviously a letter that's meant to be written to Dr. Dre from Marshall, so if we open it up, we'll then take a little look. Then you just get this little notepad that then has a message to Dre from Marshall on it. So let's have a read of that. Hey yo Dre, man, I'm getting a bad feeling about this place, man. This place is getting darker and darker. I think something is up, maybe I'm paranoid. Marshall. And then at the bottom there's something from Dr. Balzac, and that is Doc, can't save you here, Eminem, this is my operating table and you're on it. So there you have that. And honestly, this is just like making for like such like an interesting like background story to the album Relapse. Like, I wouldn't say like Relapse as its own, like Relapse as an album isn't this like concept album about Eminem trying to escape like a rehabilitation center, but there are like implications of it like in some of the skits you get, and like kind of more of a sort of like underlining tone to this, and like this just really helps out add and tell that story really well. And I really love how Dunn has been able to come in here and almost like be able to tell it, and going through it, like you're already building the world and getting more of a sense for it, and it does like kind of like, but it does really nicely play off it. There are 3 letters here that you get to sort of go through. I'm not going to go through each of them. Again, I'm kind of aware of timing for the video, but you get a letter to Mr. Porter, you then get a letter to Dre, which I just read, and then you also get one to Paul Rosenberg. Actually, I said I wasn't going to read it, but I'm quite interested in what he would have said to Paul, so let's see. Paul, get me the fuck out of here now. These motherfuckers are going to kill me. Yep, I knew the Paul one would be a good one. There you go. There is the Paul message. So, interesting. So those are some of the confiscated mail that has come from this. I think there might be some more that might have fallen out, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So the next document you get on here is the application for release, which, as you can see, has been denied. And on this, like, if you would read this paragraph here, which I will do in just a second, it basically has a ton of just like Easter eggs and references to the track list. So without further ado, let us read it. Marshall is requested to be discharged from his treatment early. His statement for the reasoning has been outlined below. It began so hopeful, but I need to be with Haley and my girls now, Doc. I stay wide awake at 3 AM missing them. You're a father too, right? My fans need me too, man. Yeah, I just need to be home underground with my beautiful family. Shit, even say hello to my mom, for old time's sake. I will come back, I promise. I appreciate all the help, Doc, but I'm clean already. I have no desire to crack a bottle of pop pills again. Tanya's yoga with the medicine ball got me focused. I'll autograph anything you need. Send Paul to pick me up, or Steve Berman. And then the bottom it's basically had, fuck you, ballsack pussy. And that has all been scribbled out. So, sorry, I was just reading the bottom bit there, but it's basically at the bottom of the doctor's signature. It basically says, this fucker can learn to play bagpipes from Baghdad in 2 hours, but not our steps. His excuses must be the ganja. Final evaluation insane. That is such a clever little use of the track list there that I really love. So yeah, nice little document there, or not so nice if, you know. Surprised with how much is in here, but I think we're about to get into some, well, we have another print here. You'll recognize this one from the gatefolders again, but again, these like quality of prints are really nicely done, so props to Dunn there. Like, he's not just like slacking with this isn't just like half-assed or anything. Like, these actually feel really well produced and put together. So again, I'm going to be shouting him out throughout this entire video because he deserves it for the amount of quality he's put into this. Like, I think there was a little feeling from me where I was a bit like, what if this is just like quite like fan-made sort of vibe and energy, like nothing like, you know what I mean? There's just like this like sense of quality and like polish that I feel like if you were to get something fan-made, or like even like a bootleg, for example, like there's just something that just doesn't feel quite right, or like it's an official product. But with all of this, it does feel like it's been overseen by someone who, like Eminem himself, to like kind of be like, this was kind of the character and mind frame I was in for Relapse, like, and has like overseen it a little bit and added his like characters and mannerisms into it, which tells you how much of a fan that Dunn is himself. So to just like see all of this is just like so cool, so fair play. So then we end up looking onto this, which basically has a bunch of doctor's notes just in his own personal journal about Marshall and everything that's been going on. And this is basically kind of like bringing the story of what Popsomp Hills is actually all about and how it's not really a rehabilitation center. And this basically goes through how they're essentially using Eminem to make themselves more money. And then at the end of it, we basically get the implication that Eminem has killed him, where it basically says, Phil, the fucking dumb fuck, overdone the dosage in the porridge. Marshall was sitting nude in the living room at noon. He is on watch for the next 24 hours. And then it goes on to the next bit. We are fucked. He blacked out and killed everyone. It's 3 AM. There's bodies laying all over the floor. I'm not safe. Send help. And then at the end, blood splatter with half fuck you bitch written by Marshall. And probably already been showing it, but there is the document where the doc gets served. And also, I am doing my best to basically like keep this all in order that it's basically coming, because very clearly the deeper you get into the files, the more it kind of like goes further into the story of where you're at. So I think it's quite important that when if you do decide to get this, keep it in order, so then that way you kind of get to follow the story, because then you get basically a wanted poster, which sort of just like is obviously Eminem has now escaped and is out there and going crazy, which you then get some crazy photos of just like stuff that's been going on. So these are like CCTV cameras that have like captured the incident that happened. Obviously these are taken from the 3 AM music video, but very clever use of it. And then just some more insane photos like Eminem screaming in the woods, a like incident image taken from like evidence at the scene, and then quite like the most recognizable one is Eminem sitting in the bloody bathtub, which I think does just like go super hard as a photo, to be honest. Like, it does just show how insane and messed up the character of Eminem was during Relapse. And to be honest, even just like seeing the quality of this print is really cool. I mean, if you want to think about the world of Relapse and like the story going on here, you can sort of question how did they get this photo, but I guess you could even make a backstory for that, or just accept that's how it is. And then, I'm not going to open this one, but you basically get like a little evidence bag, which is so cool. Like, this is just like, this is what I'm loving about it. I've already just said it, but like, just a story that is being told the further you go into these files is absolutely, excuse the pun, but insane. And here you basically get like the wristband that would have been on M as he was in the facility, an image that he clearly had of the doctor I'm assuming he killed, and then like some of the pills that it must have dropped. And I do also love this little bit of detail here too, which basically states Slim Shady's belongings rather than Marshall Mathers, to like actually show you who's the character that this is now. And then we've also got the backwards E in here too, so yeah, even more attention to detail, loving it. And then all of this basically comes on this incident report, and it basically talks about how Eminem killed everyone at 3 AM and then his reason for revenge over here. And then on the left hand side it then has his reasoning for why he might have done it. So yeah, again, this is all really cool stuff. Really love like everything that's being included here. Okay, so then the final bit is the case conclusion, which is actually a really clever way of telling you like the summary of the story of Relapse / the story of Popsomp Hills. So let's very quickly go through it, and it says, Popsomp Hills was not a real rehabilitation center. It was an illusion to trick Marshall Mathers into enrolling to use him for money. Really, it was a torture chamber with vats of acid and deadly vaults. All the schedules, flyers, and treatment plans were faked, a giant ruse. Dr. Balzac took advantage of Marshall's celebrity to help generate income and pay off debt. Detaining Marshall for as long as possible meant more patients, more publicity, more money. He instructed staff to add just enough sedatives to Marshall's porridge to make him obey them, but nurses overdone dosage one time, causing Marshall to relapse and black out into a killing spree. And that's where it goes into the song 3 AM, where he murdered 3 patients and 13 staff. That's quite insane to do. And then the whereabouts of Dr. Balzac is unknown. Evidence suggests he was slaughtered, but whilst his body has not been recovered yet, a search party has been deployed in the forest. Meanwhile, a warrant for his arrest has been issued and he is a key suspect. Popsomp Hills has been shut down by authorities. Slim Shady is still on loose. Do not approach or at all. And then here you basically get a newspaper clipping of Eminem basically being missing at the moment, and no one knows where he is. And yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. I've got to give Dunn some like real props there. Like, all of this is just truly incredible, just the amount of detail that's gone into it. I love the attention to detail in the sense of how the story has come about and the way you go through this. Like, I didn't really realize till halfway through, but the reason it's all layered like this is because you kind of like, you first sort of get like this, you get the rehabilitation leaflet that sort of just like gives you a bit more of an idea of what the place is like. It's very generic, kind of like what you would sort of expect from the rehabilitation center. But then the deeper you go into all the files, the more crazier and nuts that it all gets. So Dunn, you have done incredibly well with this. Like, genuinely, if you're a fan of Relapse, I highly recommend that you go out of your way to try and get this if you can. So genuinely, this is fantastic. And I'm just going to very quickly check something, because I feel like I basically messaged Dunn and he said there was an extra bit at the bottom of the box. So, oh, so there is. Very secret compartment. I don't know if this is something he just does for everyone, but right at the bottom, we then find ourselves with the Slim Shady LP art print. So this is a little print that Dunn has thrown in here, and then also very kindly signed on the back. And then if we also scan the QR code here, it should basically animate this and show you what he's done. So go and scan that, have a look for yourselves to have a look at some of Dunn's other work. But yeah, this is such a cool little package. Honestly, If you're a fan of Relapse and you love just like, you want to delve into more of the story around like Popsomp Hills, this is a really good like little product to get yourself. The quality that has gone into making this is unbelievable and genuinely speaks to how good of a designer that Dunn is. I'll leave all the links to the Stan's Basement website in the description, also a link to his Instagram as well. Yeah, go check him out, send him some love. He does some incredible stuff, especially if you're an Eminem fan. So yeah, definitely worth checking out some of Dunn's work. And I shall leave the video there. These have been the files to Popsomp Hills. Thank you very much, Dunn, for creating this. I do just want to stress right now, I haven't been sponsored or anything by Dunn. This has genuinely just been something I purchased myself. I was really interested to look through when he put the images up, and again, hopefully it's like made you, some of you guys want to check it out. I'll leave the video there. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I do Eminem content and also a lot of hip-hop vinyl collecting content, so if you like the sound of that, make sure to subscribe. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so make sure to hit the subscribe button so we hit that goal, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video for now. Remember, it is never too late until it's too late, and I've been Obie Trice, and I'll see you in the next one.